And lastly, the third thing for day number 2 that controls how you feel, that controls your emotions, is the language you use. And I'm not talking the language you use when you're speaking to your pal or you're on your lunch break or what you're doing on the phone. I'm talking about that internal dialogue. So that language that you use. And for those of you that are ardent fans and have maybe had the honour, and I say that tongue in cheek, of coming to me with a problem and me adding this word on, as you say, I can't do it, or I can't seem to get it to work. Right? And I'm like, right, you need to be careful with what you're saying and the words that you're using. You haven't made it work yet. You can't get a way to do it yet. You haven't found out the way that will unlock it yet. Right? Adding a small word on the end changes that whole thing. Or, why bother? It's never going to work for me anyway. Well, that's just your bad luck. Or, what's another one? Well, people like us just don't get that. Like, throw that garbage out the window, right? We'd done a call on Mount Mindset, I think it was last week or the week before, and I says, look, you ever had a day where everything's just going well? And Dave, who'd popped up, he says he's great. He's been on every single call, and he's literally in with the bricks and the foundations of Mount Mindset. And he says, well, that's when you know you should be watching, because your luck's about to change. Something bad's going to happen. I said, where do you think that came from? And he says, yeah, well, probably somebody said it to me. And I says, what do you think that puts? What do you think that incants onto you? Like, what do you think? How are you going to respond to that? You're now going to be looking at what could go wrong, what's the possibilities, what would happen if it went sideways. So you start to look for all the possible things. But what's the opposite of that? What if it did continue? What if you ride this vein of luck as far as it can go? What would happen if it continued? What would that look like? And then you start to spot them. We've done something called the red car theory. So the red car theory was, if I paid you £100 to notice every red car, how many red cars do you think you would spot? You'd spot loads, because it's what you would be drawn towards. And this is the thing that you start to notice, is that when you start to look for things, you will start to see them, because there's many, many systems that go on in the human body, like our breathing, like our heart rate, heartbeat, the blood flowing around our body. We ignore all of the things. We ignore lots of things that are not important to us. And it's the things that we don't focus on. And what we're displaying here is the pattern in which you can start to focus on things that will change your life, that will change your life for the better, that will give you the right feelings and get you the outcomes that you want to start having. And it's about putting those things in your mind so that you can start to spot them, just like the same as the red car. And as Dave went on, I says, what do you think you should do if you get a run of good luck? And he says, you know what? He says, you keep it going. You keep it going as long as you can get it going. And I made an example when I was young. I played football, and I says, look, when I was doing keepy uppies, which is kicking the ball as many times without, the ball touching the ground, I says it didn't matter if it was ugly or pretty or skilled or talented or anything in between. The whole goal was to keep this ball in the air as long as possible for as many taps as possible. It didn't matter what it took. And that's the same with your luck. It's the same with these opportunities. Keep them going. So imagine putting those in your mind to spot them, just like they're a red car. Have you ever wanted something like a new top or a new car or a new van or a new phone, and you see them everywhere? You go, where are these coming from? Well, what's happening is you put it into your brain and you start to spot them everywhere. They were always there, but you just ignored them before. Well, imagine doing that with opportunities or growth or development or results or businesses or investments or outcomes. Start putting them in. And that's why this is day number 2. Day number 2 is by starting to prime you to spot the things that you want. That is mastering emotions. Why master emotions, though? Well, it's going to improve your relationships. It's going to improve how you come across. It's going to improve your opportunities. People are going to want to work with you. It's going to improve your influence. It's going to increase your productivity, because you're going to feel so much better. And people are going to be drawn towards you. You're going to be like, this great energy about you. People like being around you because you have got something about you. And what it is your physiology, the body tells a story, the 55, the way that which you say it, the 38% part, sounds good. People can feel it. And then the words that you use, because the language is the third part, the language in which you use resonates. They love it. And that's why people will be drawn towards you. So make sure that you're paying attention to it. Remember, focus, physiology, in the language you use, right? It's that simple.